Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We are back. We're doing another best of 3 Zendikar Rising draft and got an Inscription of Abundance here. Pretty easy pick, very strong card. All the inscriptions are pretty awesome. Or is there only 2 of them? Maybe there is only 2 of them, but this one is very good. Lets you fight, buffs your creature, gains life, a lot of stuff, and it's instant speed on to top it all off. Otherwise, we have Sign of the Swarm in here. Good for the Cleric decks. Songmad Treachery. Good spell land. Lull Mage's Familiar. Good for the Kicker decks. Farsight Adept. Playable. 3-drop for party decks. Smite, more of a sideboard card. Vanquish. Playable. Black removal. Blood Priest, good for Cleric or party decks. Into the Royal. Great blue card. Diviner, good wizard. Raptor, good for landfall. Baloth, good for landfall. Same with Stomper. And that's about it. Alright, wow. Omnath? That's cool. It's got to be a tough one to get going. What else is in here? Not too much else, to be honest. Could take the Journey to Oblivion. Unless I really want to make a 4-color landfall happen. This is going to be a pretty difficult card to play. It does replace itself and gives you all sorts of value, but I could just take it because there's nothing in green worth second picking here. See if it pans out, if I have enough fixing. It's possible. I mean, it's a strong effect. If you get like Basswood Surge or Roiling Regrowth, you can do some pretty nasty stuff with it. So we'll give it a chance. Not giving up much for it. We're giving up a Journey to Oblivion, I guess, and a McKindy Stampede randomly, but whatever. We'll consider it. Alright, here. Strongest card in the pack. Into the Royal is quite good. Black Bloom Rogue. So one color we don't have for Omnath. To Drew Blightblade in green. Might be worth taking. Into the Royal might be the best card, though. Geyser Mage in here, too. I need to kind of come up with a plan. Well, if I take the Into the Royal, we're on a kicker plan. That's pretty good. Simic Kicker. Leaves us open to that. Alright. See if we can make that. Ooh. And then immediately rewarded with a Roost of Drakes. Well, that's a plan I'm happy to try now. Royal Eruption in here. Blood Beckoning. So some other kicker stuff. Shadow Stinger, good for rogues. But, yeah, pretty easy Roost of Drakes. Very strong card. Alright, well, probably just take a Cunning Geyser Mage. It's got kicker, so that makes sense. Otherwise, Kabira Takedown. It's not bad. I guess it puts us on an Omnath path, but I'm willing to ditch Omnath plan just to get a bunch of good kicker spells. See if we can get all the kicker rewards. Huge pickup for us here with Vine Gecko. We're already on just a quick path for an excellent deck. Tons of kicker stuff, tons of kicker rewards. This is just exactly how you want to start a draft. Alright, well, Riptide, one of the better cards for these styles of decks. Turns into a 5/5 beater. Otherwise, we could take the Visionary, but this comes down earlier, and it just synergizes with the deck, so I think it makes sense. Alright, I think it's a pretty easy spell shield here. Another kicker spell can protect Vine Gecko, I guess. But it's actually kind of cool, I guess. First costs 1 less to cast. So yeah, you can basically get the full bonus for 1 mana. At least I think that's how it works. Suppose we'll find out. Alright, I can take a Stomper here. It's a big finisher. Nothing else on color. Late Vanquish, Farsight Adept. Treachery. Some playable stuff late there. So we can take Adventure Awaits here. If we're still hoping to maybe find an Omnath or something. Otherwise we just take an Ascetic. Probably just take an Ascetic. Buy some time, gain some life. Seems good. Alright, nothing on color here. We'll take the weakest card to show that we're not in these colors. We also did not wheel the bunch of red stuff, huh? Well, You can have it. We're not red. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, we didn't get the Lull Mage's Familiar back, but that's okay. We can take it here, since we're pretty firmly in this archetype, and I think it's better than Florahedron. We want to gain some life and survive. Throwing a McKindy would be actually a nice wheel. Lets you ramp out your kicker stuff, and it's a land. It's pretty sweet. Royal Mage would be a good wheel. Florahedron's in here too, which would be nice. I would definitely take the Visionary, just body that draws cards, but let's take Familiar first. Feel pretty good about that. All right, let's take Roost of Drakes number 2. It's a Colony Ambush in here. And that's about all that we really care about. So we'll take Roost of Drakes number 2. All right. There's a Buying Veil, which is a spell land. It's pretty good, but we might just want this Roiling Regrowth. This would technically let us play Omnath, but I don't know if we need to play Omnath is the thing. It's also a Geyser Mage in here, which has kicker. It's obviously could just stick to the kicker plan. It's not the strongest card in here, but there's really no reason to play Omnath when we're getting so much consistent kicker value here. Like, I think we just take the Geyser Mage and play it. Be happy about it. You might even be able to live the dream of making like an all kicker and kicker enabler deck. We could take another Shell Shield, but there's Sentinel, and we probably want some more creatures. Although these 2 Rooster Drakes are creatures, but I'm fine taking the Sentinel here. They both have kicker. This one's cheaper, admittedly. But we can take a Sentinel. We might even wheel the Shell Shield. It's not exactly a highly desirable card. Well, we can take Reclaim the Waste here over a Visionary. I'm fine with that. Once again, it would let us possibly play the Omnath. Like I said, I don't know if Omnath is really something we need. So another Shell Shield or Yasharn just on the splash. I guess just take more kicker. When in doubt, take kicker. Splash the Royal Eruption. Well, it's on color with Omnath, and there's nothing else in here. That's a late... Yeah, red was super open. That's right. All right. I'm cool with that. A lot of red. Brushfire Elemental, more for the landfall deck. Probably just take Broken Wings for sideboard. Well, we got the Royal Mage back. Do we actually have targets for it? Oh, yeah, we do. We've got Shell Shields, Reclaim, Into the Royal, Royal Eruption, Inscription. That's good enough for me. Passing some Visionaries, but I'm not going to be upset about getting some awesome kicker value spells here. I don't know if we're going to have space for the Royal Eruption Omnath package. We're on track to have like an all synergy deck, which I feel like I haven't had forever in this format. So we'll cut the green card. Did get that Shell Shield back. 3 does seem excessive, but when you have 2 Roost of Drakes and a Vine Gecko and a Lull Mage's Familiar and a Risen Riptide, it might actually be justified. For now, I guess we don't need to cut them, but I'm pretty tempted to. I feel like we're going to get everything we need out of pack 3 here. So we have 13 creatures if you include the Roost of Drakes. It's pretty good. All right. Maddening Cacophony. Well, it's got kicker, but not exactly what I'm looking for. I think we're looking at probably Rabid Bite or Gnarlid Colony. We don't have much removal right now, do we? Basically an Into the Royal. I think we might want this Rabid Bite. I really want the Gnarlid Colony too, though. But it's tough to go wrong with Rabid Bite, especially in a deck that doesn't really have any other way to deal with creatures. So we'll take it over the Colony here and be okay with that. So can get yet another Cunning Geyser Mage just kicker for days. I'm okay with that. Or we take the Balagad Recovery, get a spell land, gets back some pretty good things. You know what? I'd probably take Recovery here. It's a free card in the deck. One I actually kind of like. So we can take Jawari Disruption. It's also a spell land, I suppose. Not an exciting one, but one I'm okay taking. So we need 2 creatures basically to make a deck, unless I'm cutting Omnath, which I feel like I probably am. But with Reclaim the Waste, maybe I don't have to. It's kind of hard banking on one card to make your Omnath eligible for the deck. Now I did take a Cunning Geyser Mage over a Roiling Regrowth. I don't regret that though. Probably just Might of Marasa here, I suppose. It's got kicker. Can't go wrong with that. Well, we already have 2 Turn Timber Ascetics. Do I really want 3? Probably not. I could take the Cleric. Just buys us some time. We probably want that. Get something cheaper. Does not really have kicker, though. Feel like the chances are low that we're going for the Royal Eruption Omnath package. Well, could take another one. Or we could just take a Nectar Pot. Give us some more early stuff to do with life gain. Royal Eruption is pretty sweet. And we don't have removal. You know what? I'm probably just greedy enough to try it. Could take Buying Veil or Living Tempest or Splash a Rockslide Sorcerer. Not sure. Buying Veil seems like the safest card if I want to run a bunch of lands. Duelist is fine. It's something to do early. I guess I don't need the other 2 really. Lundy Vision, more spell lands that can find stuff. Yeah, I'm alright with that. Chilling Trap, we don't really have wizards. I'm not splashing for any of these. Guess we do technically have a wizard or 2. It doesn't really matter, we'll just take an uncommon. None of those are making the deck. Nor are we sideboarding into them, so it's fine. Alright. So we got ourselves a deck here. Still pretty creature light, but that's okay. We'll get it figured out. Still pretty tempted to just try the Omnath, but may not be worth it with just Reclaim the Waste. So spell lands, we have Buying Veil, Jawari Disruption, Lundy Vision, Balagad Recovery. So we have 4 spell lands. We can splash this 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It feels like we can pretty easily cut the Royal Eruptions in an Omnath and still have a pretty good deck, honestly. And not have to mess with all of these sweet splash cards. And still have more than enough finishers. Don't get me wrong, I think it's cool. This does let you gain 4 life off of each. That is strong. Just trying to think how realistically I could actually splash that. And I feel like it's a bit costly to the deck, to be perfectly honest. Like, if I cut this, I'm down to 14 creatures, including the Roost of Drakes. But we have a ton of kicker. Otherwise, yeah, I think this is fine. So it's 18 lands, but 4 of them are double as spells, which is probably pretty good. If I had the Roiling Regrowth over the Cunning Geyser Mage, I'd probably go for the Omnath Royal Eruption package. I think that would be fine. As is, probably don't have to. We have enough good stuff going on in this deck where we don't need to pollute it with super ambitious plans. So we need double blue. We don't need double green, so we're going to err towards blue for sure. So we could do 10, 8. 10-8 seems fine, actually. Like I said, we need double blue. We only need single green. We need both, but double blue for quite a few cards. So, all right. Good looking kicker deck. We'll run it like this. We'll see you round 1. Yeah, I suppose this is a keep. Inscription with Sentinel can be good. Same with Rabid Bite. So here, I think I want to leave up the Jwari Disruption. In order to do that, I have to play the island, which possibly sets us back a little bit, but it might be worth it. Especially if we rip another land. So I think we're just going to bite the Visionary, leave up Disruption, and pass. Yeah, it's pretty perfect. So now we can go put the counters on there, we gain life, do this, and fight the Stalker. We have a 4-power flyer and they don't have a creature anymore. And we can get back the inscription with our recovery, which is pretty strong. Rooster Drake's kicker here is pretty slick. Turn Timber Ascetic makes the best use of mana. I think we'll do the Ascetic. I think we're gonna do the recovery though to get back the inscription. Probably. Stomper of our own is not bad, obviously. Let's get in for 5. I think we'll Roosted Drakes here. They can attack us for 10 next turn, but we're ahead on the life total. I think we do the Roost. I could have played the recovery to play the Stomper. Yeah, that might have been better in hindsight. And this is still pretty good, and I can play the Stomper now, but... really need to bounce any lands. It's a lot of Draga Visionaries. They're at 9. So I can bring back the Rabid Bite to deal with the Stomper. They might single block though. I'm just going to attack here. I want to see how they block. Well, they single block, so that makes it easier. And then we can do recovery on our inscription. That lets us do all sorts of more crazy things. So I don't think I need to sandbag lands for anything that I can think of. Sproutling, pretty good one. So their deck looks good. They've got Crawling Barrens. That's a tough card to beat. They've got a ton of Draga Visionaries. Turn Timber Symbiosis, which is good. Living Tempest, which is good against my plan as well. Seafloor Stalker, which is just, I guess it's not bad with all the Visionaries. They got a weird little brew going. But yeah, Crawling Barrens. Marasa Sproutling. They show us some kicker stuff. No, actually, but I think we can assume it's somewhere in there. We can do Cliffhaven Kite Sail to fly over top, but yeah, that's not bad, actually. But maybe cut the Duelist, because Duelist really isn't that impressive against what they got. Does bring our creature count dangerously low, which makes bringing in a Kite Sail seem worse. Broken Wings. Artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. So maybe we want that. So then we can deal with the Bubble Snare and a Living Tempest, I guess. Yeah, and then we can cut the Duelist, I guess. I don't like how low on creatures we are, but I think that's just how we're going to have to do it. The Roost of Drakes is kind of our main, one of our main win cons. We'll keep this. Lightblade's pretty good. I think we can play a Royal Mage as a Gnarlid Colony trade. Okay with that trade too. Do the Riptide for now. Plays, huh? I wonder if I attack here. Can I cast this with kicker? It's kind of cool. Sure. So Dwari Disruption actually seems pretty good. We'll just bash for 3 and leave up Disruption. Because we know they got a grip full of stuff here. So I don't really want to use a Rabbit Bite on a Gnarlid Colony. That would let us play the Ascetic. We're a land away from kicking the Sentinel too, which is pretty good. Crawling Barrens. Reclaim the waste. So we kick this. Another green, I guess, and a blue. I guess it doesn't matter. So now they're in lethal range with Sentinel, which is pretty good. Mage's familiar is pretty big. Got Might of Marasa though too. So, I guess we just, you know, go for lethal here. Alright, see for round two. Alright, round two we'll play first. Gonna have to mull that one. I think we're going to 5. Although, actually, maybe this one I do keep. Yeah, and I do the turn 1 roost and hope some spell shields can get us there. It's not the worst idea I've ever had. Alright. Guess I need an actual target in order to do that. So maybe that wasn't the wisest idea. I should have kept the Royal Mage and ditched the into the Royal, I think. That would have been smarter. Well, I hit 2 non-lands. That's not bad. Green mana here would be nuts. Because then we could play the Vine Gecko and kick and protect it and spit out Drakes. So that's pretty good. Definitely should have kept that Royal Mage though in hindsight. Got the green one, so now we can go Gecko. Yes. Alright, so we'll take the shield here. Actually, no, this is okay. I was going to say we could Spell Shield and then Rabid Bite, but I kind of want them to... I don't know. Maybe I should have done it. I kind of want to protect my Vine Gecko, though. I don't know if that's greedy or not. We're also a green mana away from Inscription Kickered right now, which is also nuts. Yeah, you know what? We probably just... Well, I can play the Familiar. And I probably can live another turn, and that'll let me Inscription. All right. A little bit unsafe, but full Inscription seems like something I really, really want. Might have Marasa too. With Might of Marasa kicked, is it even lethal? I don't think so. So we'll do this kick though. So we're going to put the counters on our flyer. We're going to gain some life. We could gain more life, I guess. But we'll have this fight this. That was a pretty transformative spell there. All for 3 lands. Well, 4 lands, I guess. Vine Veil's pretty cool too. Let's say, yeah, we go for this. Oh, wait. Now we can't kick Maida Marasa, can we? Whoops. Well, it looks like they just gifted us the win anyway. Oddly. Oh, wait, they have something? What was it? Practice tactics? They only have clerics. They do have practice tactics. They expected me to cast something on my 2/2. Wow. Despite my punt, they punted harder than we did, I think. They needed to do more blocks. We just won on the weirdest mull to 5. Hey, we'll take it. So, they're clerics. They got a pretty good looking cleric deck. A lot of life gain and flyers. Shepherds. Do I want the kite sail? Once again, duelist is looking possibly unnecessary. Maybe duelist wasn't the best idea for our deck anyway. Probably broken wings again is okay to take out the shepherd rather than the Cliffhaven kite sail in case they have like Nahiri's binding or something. I usually like to see 2 targets, and technically we have 2 targets, so yeah, it's either that or a kite sail, but kite sail requires us having creatures to work. This is fine. We'll do this. Alright, well, I'm not in love with this hand. We don't have both colors. We don't really have a quick start. I think I'm gonna mulligan. I think we can do better. This one's a keep. Probably ditch the... What do we ditch? Could be a land. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Vine Gecko's pretty sweet. No black mana from our opponent. That's good. So I guess we can broken wings that. Don't need to though. We'll just take our medicine here and close this fine. Sentinel. So I can do reclaim the waste. I think we do this turn. Because it lets us play a land, get in for 4. They can't practice tactics us. And then we can play a Riptide plus Rabbit Bite next turn. Which is pretty good. got the broken wings actually too. So we just blow this up. Kill this. Actually, they would have been able to kill our guy with practice tactics, wouldn't they? Because they had a wizard and a cleric. I didn't think about that. Next turn we can drop the sentinel. Which is pretty good. So we can get in for 5, and next turn lethal with the Might of Marasa, so I think it's worth it. If we keep the Gecko back, they could just play a land and tap it, but this is fine. Seven, huh? It's pretty good. Or we just kick it and make our guy even bigger. Alright. Sweet. We will see you for the finals. Alright. This is keep. We'll wait on the Roost of Drakes. I can hold up that spicy Dwari Disruption. Happy to see that doing something. Maybe not. Technically, I need a second blue before I can play the Roost, but I kind of want to keep this Dwari Disruption around. Yeah, it's worth it. I think it's worth it. We can wait. So next turn we can kick the Roost of Drakes. And then we can start kicking everything else. Well, that's actually a good draw. So, kicking Roost is not the best use of mana, but gives us a flying blocker for the Diviner and lets us get in for 5. I think I'm alright with that. Well, then they don't have to tap. Yeah, actually, maybe bouncing now, keeping them off draw is the best. Up to 7 lands. We're gonna kick this. Because if we can survive here, we can cast Ascetic to gain some life. They don't have lethal and crackback, even if they do have removal. This brings them to lethal if they attack with everything anyway. They do have the Relic Vial and a Cleric currently. So Broken Wings looks good. Do I even block? Probably. So, let's see. This brings him out of lethal. Or does it? I guess it doesn't. Could play the Ascetic to gain some life. Or I can do the Royal Mage, getting back Disruption, which doesn't do that much, but they also can sack and get out of it. You know what? I'm going to keep the Ascetic. I think the 3 life is important right now. Playing around Might of Marasa, I guess that makes sense. Well, it was close. So we'll go to game 2. I think we can win this. They're playing kind of like a rogue party hybrid brew. Duelist once again. I probably should have just cut that from the beginning. Although, I guess it can temporarily turn off an infiltrator for 1 turn. It's probably not worth it though. Broken Wings has to come in. Can cut the Duelist. Yeah, I think that's all we have. We'll play first. That's a keep. Stalker, okay. Got our land that we needed. Five. We can play another one. So we'll ditch Broken Wings and I think actually Geyser Mage. So, can't kick. They can pump this 3 times. That's 5. I think we just have to get in for 6. Play a Geyser Mage. Pass here. Well, it's not lethal, so I guess we're okay. Yeah, it's pretty irrelevant. It doesn't matter. got game 2. So now they're looking more party than rogue. But they're definitely just a weird little hybrid. Mind Drain is good against us, unfortunately. Reclaim Waste can kind of turn it off a little bit. But not much we can do about that. It almost makes you want to play the Rooster Drakes early, so you don't have to worry about discarding them later, but yeah, it's tough. Definitely keeping. I think we'll play the Recovery. I'm going to try and leave up Dry Disruption for Mind Drain, probably. So I feel like they probably boarded into a couple of them. I can blow up a Relic Golem. I don't think I care about that. I'm going to wait until next turn to play the Vine Gecko. So Pack Beast or the Golem. They're all party oriented. You know what? I'm going to blow up Pack Beast. Like, they can start milling us, which is kind of good, but I feel like this is better for us. We'll find out. I guess I could have done some rabbit biting on it. I don't know. We'll see. Like, it's going to take them a little while to turn that on, I think. Maybe it would have been better to do the Relic Golem in hindsight. I honestly don't know. I don't have an opinion on it either way. Guess we wait. Can do Geyser Mage if I had had the second blue there. Alright. So do this Stomper. Alright, but Stomper is better. Bring back the Sanctuary. Can get back our Inscription. Or Into the Royal, I guess. So we're up to 5 cards in our graveyard. Roost of Drakes. Guess I can get them back, though. Might still be better to get Inscription back, I'm not sure. So we'll get rid of these 2 lands. So now Relic Golem's turned on. But we have Rabid Bite. Oh, that's perfect draw. Because now even if they have something in response, we just shield it. Subtle Strike too. Well, the good news is we can still attack in. Can do quite a few things here. Probably just do Inscription. But yeah, it might be smarter to do Roost. Like, Inscription would let us fight something, but this gives us another, like, even if they have a way to deal with Vine Gecko and Geyser Mage, it's just another way to bring out maybe some continuous threats on board, I guess. Which seems good to me. Can't remember if there's any reason I should be sandbagging lands, but I feel like we have more than enough now. All right. Well, hard-fought battle, but we eventually got there with a really awesome kicker deck. So, hope you enjoyed it. Got that 3-0. Always satisfying. Thanks for tuning in, folks. We'll see you for the next one.